AP Microeconomics Perfect Competition. Come on. Come on, people. Let's go. Let's go. How's everyone doing out there? That's right. Let's go. What is up, people? Jenna's hype. She's ready to go. Come on. All right, people. I'm doing good. I'm doing great. I'm doing great, Jenna. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it. All right, people. What do we need to do today? So today, let me turn the music down just ever so slightly. All right. Today, we're continuing on with perfect competition, and we're gonna start making adjustments, right? Short run and long run adjustments, just like you guys did in AP Macro. Can you guys remember that? You guys remember your AP Macro careers, right? Where you drew the ADS model in one of 3 different gaps, and then based on the gap, you had to adjust it to long run, or you started at long run, you moved it into a gap, and then you had to automatically adjust it back to long run. People, it's the same thing in this class, right? Basically, there's 3 states of perfect competition: normal profit, losses, and profit, right? Positive economic profit. And you have to be able to draw perfect competition in either of those 3 states, and then adjust it to long run. Or start at long run, draw it making profit or loss, and then draw it going back to long run, right? That's the idea. That's what we're going to do today. It sounds kind of complicated and hard, but it's really not. And I think, taking macro already, most of you guys, I know not all of you guys have, but it will help you a little bit. It will help you understand it just ever so slightly. Other announcements is check your problem set 3.4 key. I put that problem set on like 10 minutes ago, right? So, when the time comes, when we go to Google Meet, check 3.4. If you got any questions, let me know at that time. And then you guys will do 3.5 afterwards. Now, 3.5 is a lot of what we did yesterday, right? It's not going to be a lot of what we're going to do today. We're going to practice what we do today tomorrow, and we're going to do that on FRQs, okay? So just be aware of that. There's not really any short and long run stuff today, and it's kind of hard, right? Usually, I teach this in a different way, so kind of bear with me. Usually, on the smartboard, and I'm drawing the graph, and it's easy. I have to do it all on PowerPoint, which is kind of weird, so you gotta really pay attention. It's gonna be a little tougher than usual, but it won't take that long. So today, the plan was just do short run to long run, but that's not going to take that long. And so if I get a time check and we got plenty of time, I might also do long run to long run today. All right, it'll just save us a day. I don't think it's all too much to do. Usually I break it apart in 2 days, but I have students do a lot more other things, right? So we might just do it all in one day. And then after that, all we have to do is efficiency, and then kind of just rep a lot of things, right? We're going to do a lot of practice MCs with Unit 3 and FRQs with Unit 3. So probably on Friday or maybe even Thursday might just be a Google Meet day. We'll see. All right. And then next week we'll start Unit 4. We'll start Unit 4 next week, and then probably Tuesday I'll upload the Unit 3 test to Go Formative, and you guys will work on that the whole week, and yeah, you'll have a Unit 3 test grade in. Okay. So that's the plan. That is the plan. Anything else? That's pretty much it, I think. So I decided today, because Macro also had a light day, Macro learned about aggregate supply today, which isn't that insane, is we're going to start our class competition. A 3-game series. You versus second hour Macro on GeoGuessr. We played GeoGuessr before, but I don't think we played it as high stakes as this. The winner of the 3-game series gets 1 extra credit summative, whichever class you're a part of. All right, but you have to participate in order to get that. You got to participate. And people, remember, the haunted house. The haunted house is still being built. It's almost done. Word is from the production crew, it's almost done. But I think we're gonna save it for Friday. It'll be really fun, and we don't have a whole lot to do on Friday. Actually, we'll probably just do the haunted house, and then we'll work on MCs and FRQs. That'd be pretty easy Friday. But oh yeah, you guys are going in there. On Friday. It's gonna be sweet. But anyway, all right. So let's do the class competition now, people. Second hour to good, not great. You can beat them. Now they got the right country. That we got Chile, right? But Chile is like very like, you know, longitude, right? It's like very north-south, right? So like they weren't like close to it in Chile, but they were in the right country, right? So it's pretty close. They were, I think it was 850 kilometers. I want to say 850 kilometers. So you guys got to beat that. But this time is they put a time limit in GeoGuessr, which is good. We have 4 minutes, and we have to submit the answer before 4 minutes. So like, time is very, very scarce. So right when we go into the world, right, the map, you guys got to like start giving me, you know, country, no, continent, country, and then like cities, right? Like start narrowing it down, right? And then like right when there's about 20 seconds left, I'm gonna go to the map and like whatever I see on there is basically what I'm gonna do. Okay? I'll give you my insight, but you know, I don't know. You guys know just as much as I do. All right, let's do it, people. Let's get into the competition. GeoGuessr. Now it says they didn't make a guess, right? But like because we ran out, like we didn't know how the time was, but they said Santiago, and then I just like looked at the map and it was 850 kilometers away. Driving though, so if there's a tie, like I think they're gonna win the tie. Are you guys ready? Are we all ready? Is everyone here? Are we ready? Are we ready, people, today? Are we ready? This thing on? Yes! Cam says she is ready. So, this is the attendance in the chat. This is the attendance in the chat. Alright, people. You guys ready? We've got 4 minutes, okay? We have to work very, very quick. It's going to be Rhode Island. Caleb's calling right now. What's up, Micah? Ready? Boom, we're in. We're in. We're in. We're in. Oh, no. Come on. Oh, gosh. You guys? You guys? Oh, we are so lucky to have this. Start thinking about where we're at. It's got the little circle over the A. That's Norway, right? Norwegian? Am I wrong? When that's like Nordic, right? Okay. But I don't want to lead you guys in the wrong direction. To my knowledge, that's like a Nordic country. It's like Norway. I don't think German does a circle above the A. Right? They don't do that, do they? I'm pretty sure this is like Norway. Or like Finland or like Sweden. Oh. Let me give you another one. Same thing. Tyler, you can't cheat. Did you Google that? Hey, people, Mr. Moore's got skills, though. I put you in the right country right off the bat. I was thinking about backing us out, right? This is unfair that we don't have a big city. Look at these roads. These roads are still better quality than ours. Oh, hold on. Did I just see a huge sign? Hold on. What happened? All right, we'll do it. You guys cheated. You can't look things up. I think, you know what? I think if we put anywhere in Norway, as long as it wasn't like way up here, we would have won. Norway's just so much smaller than Chile in terms of like distance. Now Tromsø is gonna be hard. I don't know where that's at, dude. Far north. One minute, 30 seconds. We have plenty of time. Oh. Yo, this would be so pretty to, like, live here. Look at that. Like, everything's, like, island. The peninsulas. It's crazy. Are you kidding me right now? You guys are little cheaters. Send it? With time to spare. Just because of a letter. Just because of one street sign. Right? That's how good we are. Oh. I was gonna say, like, no one lives up here. You guys still won. Oh no, you did it! Oh no, you did it! You didn't win! They had 850 kilometers. People, no! Oh no! No! No, I was looking at miles. I'm pretty sure you guys lost. I'm pretty sure they had 850 kilometers. Oh no! No! Hey, Tyler's the only one who put us in the right spot. You can't be hating. No, do not ban him. Do not ban him. There's probably like 2 street signs. It's probably like a common street sign. Dang, yes, we were right there. Where's oh, there it is. Strandvegen. Norwegian. Yeah, if you would have guessed middle, you probably would have won. But I thought we were gonna be like accurate. Yeah, if you would have put like right, it's kind of like Chile, right? Like, so they guessed Santiago, I think, and it was like here. It was like right there. So, all right, people. Well, you guys are down 0-1, but tomorrow we'll get them back. Tomorrow we're gonna get them back. I have faith in my seniors. Seniors gonna win for sure. Now I might be wrong though. I might have said 850 miles. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's 850 kilometers. I'm pretty sure. Well, I'll double check it. All right, people, moving on. We gotta get to what we gotta do. All right. We gotta get into the haunted house. All right, people, let's do it. Ah, you're not supposed to see the clowns yet. All right. No. Tyler, you helped us greatly. We just got unlucky. It's probably like a common road name in Norway, just like in Michigan or in the U.S. a common road name is like State Street. I don't know. You know what I mean? Same thing. So it was unlucky. All right, people. I know I say this every day. I know I say, you guys, this is like the most important thing ever. Like, you have to pay attention or else, like, you know, it's going to be really hard, right? This is one of those days, right? It's very, very important, right? Think about the ADAS model, short run versus long run, the different gaps, how it's so important to know all this stuff. So, perfect competition is the market structure that we're looking at, and we're almost done with it. And then afterwards, we'll do monopoly, and then we'll do oligopoly, and then we'll do monopolistic competition. But we're looking at perfect competition, so we want to know what is the firm going to experience in the short run, and how is that going to be different in the long run, and what's going to change for the firm as we go from short run to long run to short run to long run to long run, right? That's what we're going to do today. So it says, you are a wheat farmer, and you learn that there is more profit in making corn. What do you do in the long run, right? So you're currently farming wheat, and you learn that someone's making profit, nearby growing corn, and maybe you're struggling in the wheat industry, right? What are you going to do? And it says, in the long run. Yeah, Jenna's right. Go produce corn. Because you guys remember what long run means? Long run means, again, it's not a period of time, but it's the idea that enough time where you can convert your resources and make everything variable. There's not one fixed resource, right? You change everything, right? To go and expand your business or go to a different industry or whatever, right? So that'd be the idea of long run. So it says, in the long run, firms will enter if there's profit. Firms will leave if there's a loss, right? So if profit's being made, it's like Finding Nemo, the seagulls, right? Like mine. Like if they see like any sort of fish, like they all go to it, right? That's the idea in perfect competition. If there's profit being made, it's going to signal to other firms in this industry or substitute industries to go and join and make that good because there's profit being made, right? If there's losses being made, obviously some firms are going to begin to leave, and as firms begin to leave, right, the existing firms are going to go back to normal profit. The whole point is, in the long run, firms will always make normal economic profit because, does it say it anywhere? Because there's low barriers of entry. You should say it on here somewhere. There's low barriers of entry. There's not any patent or copyrights protecting their profits. There's no huge economies of scale. There's no huge startup cost, right? It's generally pretty easy to compete in this industry. So if there's profit being made, Other firms are going to join, they're going to replicate that production of that good, and they're going to compete with the existing firms. So if profits being made, firms enter, they're going to go to normal profit, right? If firms are making losses, they're going to leave till there's normal profit being made, right? So in the long run, there's no incentive to enter the industry or leave the industry, right? Normal profit isn't that bad, people. Think about normal profit. Normal profit means you're covering all of your costs, which might be your own salary, right? I know like a lot of bars, right? Like normally make normal profit, right? A lot of people, I want to own a bar, like a restaurant when I get older. Generally, they make normal profit. Generally, they make enough revenue to cover their costs, and the cost includes paying yourself, right? So again, it's not outrageous because a restaurant or like a bar is pretty easy to replicate, right? And if any of those firms are making profits, other firms just join. Is the idea. It's like a coffee shop, right? If there's a coffee shop and you're making profit, you better believe Starbucks is going to enter that town, right? It's the idea. Big Corn doesn't want the public to know this. Tyler's pretty funny, man. He always got jokes. He's got jokes. All right, people. All right, so let's get back to the graph, right? So it says side-by-side graph for perfect competition, industry, and firm in the long run would look something like this, right? This is the equivalent of last year drawing the ADAS model at long run equilibrium. You guys remember that? You had to draw like the X and then LRS going right down the middle. That was long run. All three curves were intersecting at the same point. Same thing on here for the firm, right? This has to be normal profit because the total revenue equals the total cost, right? That's the idea. You can't show long run and short run over here in the industry, right? You show it by the firm, and all firms are the same. So if this firm's making normal profit, which that's what they're making right now, their total revenue equals their total cost, this firm is currently at long run equilibrium. That's what it's called. So sometimes you guys are going to be given FRQs. Same thing in macro, right? You guys remember in macro, they're giving FRQ and it said the first part of the question says draw the economy in a recessionary gap, inflationary gap, or long run equilibrium, right? Same thing here, right? You're going to get an FRQ and it's going to say this is perfect competition. Draw the firm experiencing losses, experiencing profits, or at long run equilibrium. This is long run equilibrium, right? Because we know that they can't make a profit and they can't make losses in the long run. In long run, they must be making normal profit. That's the idea, okay? So I'm just going to, make the firm larger here. See what I'm doing here, okay? Again, this is normal profit. Because again, if we were to calculate total revenue, it would be right here, price times quantity. They're going to produce 8 units, and each one's going to sell for a price of $15. So in total, they're going to make 15 times 8, right? Which, whatever that is, right? What's their total cost? Same thing, right? Because that's their average total cost curve. It means on average, each unit costs $15 when we produce 8. So they are breaking even. Total revenue equals total cost. So there's no reason to leave the industry because they're not making losses, and there's no reason for anyone else to enter the industry because no one's making profit. So this is the idea of long run. Now obviously things can change, right, outside of the control of these firms, and then we're going to get to a new long run. But for now, that's what long run economic profit is. And in this last part, people, they love asking it. They love asking it, right? Because they need to assess you. Do you understand the difference between economic profit and accounting profit? We talked about that last week. If economic profit is 0, accounting profit has to be positive. And the reason is accounting profit ignores implicit costs. It ignores opportunity costs. It has one less additional cost, right? Like one less cost, not marginal cost, but one less cost. So accounting profit always has to be greater than economic profit, right? You just have to know that. And some of you guys are going to be like, well, Mr. Moore, like, isn't this accounting profit, right? All you did was 15 times 8 for your total revenue, and also you did 15 times 8 for your total cost. You never calculated any sort of opportunity cost. It's a concept, people. Yes, this is accounting profit right here, but it's a concept, right? This is economic profit 0, so therefore accounting profit is positive. I get that, but yeah. So anyway, let's go from short run to long run. So this is what long run looks like. Short run would be, draw perfect competition making a profit or making a loss. Right? Now, again, this is where virtual school is going to be hard for us because generally by this point, the last 3 class periods, I have you draw perfect competition in short run, and I have you draw perfect competition in long run, right? Could you right now, if I asked you, could you draw a perfectly competitive firm making positive economic profit? Could you do it? If I asked you right now, could you draw a perfectly competitive firm making a loss? And also, could you draw a perfectly competitive firm making normal profit at long run equilibrium? I hope the answer would be yes, right? But I feel like it'd probably be no, right? You know what we should do is, man, if you guys all had erase boards, we could just go to Google Meet and do what we did last year, do what we usually do. We should do that. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Everyone's got to have like a scrap sheet of paper, and I'll make you draw it, and you got to hold it up in front of your camera. We can do that. I might try Jamboard too. I heard Jamboard's like okay, but that might be kind of hard. We'll see. I'm gonna look into it because I gotta get you guys drawing graphs. If you guys aren't drawing graphs, like you're gonna be disadvantaged for sure. Come the AP test. Even if the AP test is virtual like last year, it's still like you have to be able to draw it, especially on these FRQs that we're about to do tomorrow and the day after. All right. So anyway, so let's go from short run to long run. Okay. Again, this is perfect competition, industry and firm. If you guys were drawing the graphs, I want you to label industry and firm, right? Make sure you show the AP grader that this is the industry and this is the firm. You label it. Yeah, markers and scrap paper. I think it will work well. So this right here is a firm making profit, right? On an FRQ, it's going to say draw a perfectly competitive industry and firm making positive economic profit. You would draw something like this, right? Not with numbers or anything. I'm just going to use that for examples, but you would draw your marginal cost first, right? Well, first you draw your supply and demand, and then you draw your dashed lines going over, and then you draw your solid line, Mr. DARP, and you label it MR equals D equals AR equals P, right? Like this. I want you labeling everything. You don't have to, but I want you labeling everything, right? Then, after you do that, right, you draw marginal cost, it's U-shaped. And then, the reason I like having students draw marginal cost first, yeah, you have to draw the industry, yep, you have to draw the industry, yep. So it's just supply and demand, and then you usually you mark this PE, you make this QE, and you just draw this line going across, and you write Mr. DARP at the end of it. And then the next thing I always want students to do is draw marginal cost. Yeah, always, yep, always, yep. The next thing I like having students do is marginal cost. You draw marginal cost first, because if you do that first, right, that's going to give you your quantity, where MR equals MC, you draw your quantity, and then once you draw your quantity, you just got to make sure ATC crosses MC at its minimum point, and is still less than the price at that quantity, right? It's not that crazy. It's not that complicated, right? Supply and demand, draw a line going over, Mr. DARP, draw marginal cost next, find where MR equals MC, that's your quantity, and just have ATC cross at its minimum point, and then it's less than the price at this quantity, right? You wouldn't want to do like minimum point and then like it goes like way over, way up there. So that's profit, right? So profit's being made. So let's answer the questions. Is this short run or long run? It has to be short run. It can't be long run. In the long run, perfectly competitive firms can't make positive economic profit. It can't happen because firms will adjust. Firms will enter, and in the long run, they'll make normal economic profit. So this is short run. Sometimes you have to draw perfect competition. You have to literally shade in the profit. That would be us shading in the profit here. Because again, this whole square, right, or rectangle, almost looks like a perfect square actually, would be your total revenue. And then our average total cost is here, right? So this would be our total cost. So the difference would be in the green. That would be our profit. So this is short run. Why? Because this firm is currently experiencing positive economic profit. Okay? So what will firms do in the long run, right? In the long run, firms can enter or leave the industry. They like tricking you sometimes. Sometimes number two will say, what do firms do in the short run? In the short run, firms can't enter or leave. That's not enough. Not time, but like short run means that at least one resource is fixed. So you can't like convert and change industries, right? So it has to say long run for there to be firm exit or entry. So what's going to happen to firms in the long run? What do you guys think? If this firm's making profit and all the other firms are making profit in this industry because every firm's exactly identical, what's going to happen? Are more firms going to enter, or are firms going to begin to leave if they're making profit? This is a big deal. Very good, right? Firms are going to enter, right? Because there's profit being made. I want profit. I'm going to enter. I'm going to try to be, corn farmer or whatever, right? So, how do you make that adjustment, right? So this is an automatic adjustment you guys are going to have to do to your graph. You guys remember on the ADS model, If we're in a recessionary gap and it says, how do we get back to long run? You would change aggregate supply. You would just know to change aggregate supply, right? And I know I'm disadvantaging like the kids that didn't take macro last year, but that's what you would do. You change aggregate supply to get you back to long run. And the idea last year was aggregate supply changes because eventually wages adjust, right? In the long run, wages are flexible, they adjust. People are going to ask for a wage increase, which changes aggregate supply. Well, again, it's very similar to this class. What always gets us back to long run is not aggregate supply, it is supply, right? It's this curve right here, because this is the amount of producers' willingness and ability to produce. So, a long time ago when we learned about supply and demand, we said if there's more firms, more supply. Less firms, less supply, right? So in this case, there's more firms. So what's going to happen is firms are going to enter because there's profit being made, and firms are going to enter all the way up until this price right here, right? Firms are going to enter, which is an increase in supply, and they're going to enter to a point that there's long run price right here, right? How did I know I'm gonna increase my supply curve to this point right here? What I usually do is this. I take a line from like the long run point. See how this is the long run point? We just looked at that. If we're producing at this quantity and this is the price, right? Our total revenue would be equal to total cost, right? If MR equals MC here at ATC, that's normal profit. So what I like to do is I like to draw a line going from here, going all the way back. So that's going to determine our new price, and then I shift supply to that price. Because that's what happens, right? Firms are going to enter, because they want profit, and as firms enter, they drive down the price. That's just simple supply and demand. More competition is going to lead to lower prices. As firms enter, they're going to lower the price, and they're going to enter to this point. No firms are going to enter out over here, because at this point, firms are making normal economic profit. At $10, there would be no incentive for another firm to enter. Right? Why would a firm enter if they're making, they're breaking even? They're making normal economic profit. So that's the idea. That's how to do the long run adjustment in perfect competition. Is there profit being made? Yes. Okay, then firms are going to enter, right? And firms are going to enter to that long run price. And how do I know where my long run price is? That's where ATC and MC intersect, right? Because if that's the long term price, that's where MR equals MC. That's going to be equal to ATC. And that's going to be normal profit. So that's the idea. That's how you would do the long run adjustment in microeconomics, if there's profit being made. Again, this is short run to long run. That's what we're doing today. We started at short run, and it didn't say do anything. We just know in the long run, since there's low barriers of entry, firms are going to enter because they want profit. That means an increase in supply. That's what happens when firms enter, and it's going to get us to that long run price. Okay? Very good question, Jacob. We will shift marginal costs and average total costs tomorrow, but that has to be a change in cost. That has to be a change in cost. No, don't take back your. That was a good message. It's a good question. That's going to happen tomorrow. It's a special circumstance, but that's going to happen tomorrow. But for here, right? It's just simply this is the equivalent of taking aggregate supply and getting us back to long run equilibrium. Same thing here, right? We're taking supply to get back to long run equilibrium, because we know that perfectly competitive firms can't make economic profit in the long run. They got to make normal profit in the long run. Okay. So there you go, right? It would look like this, right? Here's our new supply and demand, and here's everything else, right? That's long run equilibrium. So what we need to do now is we need to analyze the firm, right? You guys remember, when you did the long run adjustment last year, what happens to output, unemployment, price level? Same thing here, right? Generally, they ask you about what happens to firm quantity and firm price. Right? It's going to say, in the long run, what happens, right? Well, firm quantity will decrease, right? We were producing 8 units, and now we're to 5 units, right? And then firm price will also decrease. Industry price obviously is the same as firm price, so that's going to decrease. Excuse me. But also notice that industry quantity is going to increase. So how does that make any sense? Well, you don't have to memorize that, right? You're just going to label your graph, and you're going to see it all on your graph, right? But make sense out of it. Every firm is going to produce less output, but we're going to have more firms. So we're going to have more firms. We're going to have more industry output, even though each firm that was existing right beforehand, before now after, is going to be making less quantity. Okay. But again, you're just going to look at your graph. You're going to know all that, right? You're going to label your initial quantity. You're going to make that long run adjustment, right? And you're going to be like, oh, well, firm quantity goes down. The price of both the industry and the firm goes down for the good. However, industry quantity is going to increase. All right? So let's do it for the other one, right? Let's start in a loss. Oh my gosh. Let's start in a loss, right? So this is the opposite of last time. So again, the 3 states of perfect competition. It's either making a profit, which we just did. It's either at long run equilibrium, which you guys just saw, or it's operating at a loss. So again, I hope you guys could draw this. Probably not, right? And it's not really your fault. Like I need to make you guys do it more. But at this point, right, could you draw a firm making a loss, right? Again, supply and demand, draw the line going over, MR equals D, right? Draw marginal cost, here's our quantity, and then if it were a loss, right, just draw ATC way up here. Still make sure it's crossing its minimum point, but way up here, because then that's going to be your loss. Very good, Tyler, right? So if firms are making a loss, just make sure you guys all can do that, right? All right, I'm going to make you guys draw tomorrow. I'm going to find a way. I'm going to find some sort of app or something to make you guys draw. But so anyway, right? So is this short run or long run? This is short run, right? It has to be short run because in the long run they're making normal profit, and this firm right here is making a loss. That's not normal profit. This has to be short run. So what will firms do in the long run? Tyler already answered it. They're going to leave, right? Some firms will stay. Some firms will leave, right? If you're a firm and you're making a loss, at some point you're going to be like, you know what? I'm going to go try to do something else, right? I'm going to take my losses and I'm going to do something else, right? And then some firms stay. That's the idea, right? Losses are going to incentivize firms to leave the industry. So if firms leave the industry, right, what's going to happen to supply? It has to decrease, right? That means less producers, less suppliers. That's just a shifter of supply. It's pretty simple, right? So if firms leave, I'm gonna decrease supply. But how do I know how far to decrease supply? Again, I need to find this point right here. This is the long run equilibrium right here. And I know that because that's where MC intersects ATC. Because I know that if price is here, and price is equal to MR, MR equals MC is our quantity, and if that's equal to ATC, we're obviously breaking even, right? So what I like to do again is I draw this line going all the way across to here, and then I draw supply, going to that line, because that's what happens, right? The change in supply is what changes the price, but they're gonna leave up until this price. Once price is $20, there's gonna be no reason to leave after that, because at that point all the existing firms are making normal economic profit. So again, firms leave, it causes the price to go to 20. We have our new Mr. DARP, right? Because they're price takers. They're going to take the price, which is going to be $20. MR equals D equals AR equals P. And here's going to be our new quantity because that's where MR equals MC. It's kind of to the right a little bit, I know, right? It's a little off. It's more like right here, but that's the idea, right? And then you just got to compare the change, right? So what happens in the long run if a perfectly competitive firm is experiencing economic losses? Well, eventually supply decreases, which is going to increase the price for both the firm and the industry, right? We're going to have less supply in the entire industry because we have less firms, but the firms that stayed will actually produce more quantity than they did beforehand, right? Because again, this is our supply curve, and our supply curve says when price increases, right, we're going to produce more. The existing firms will produce more. So these will always do opposite things here. Whenever you go from short run to long run, one quantity will increase and one quantity will decrease, kind of depending upon if it's profit or losses, which cause the change here. All right. So then we're gonna go back to making normal profit. That's what long run equilibrium looks like. That's the idea of normal profit, right there. MR equals MC. Total revenue would be the whole box, and total cost would be the whole box. There's no reason to leave, and there's no reason to enter at this point. Okay? Whoa! Get it? Get it, people? Long run equilibrium. The price for a 50-cent CD is now 50 cents. Get it? Long run, 50 cents. I don't know. Anyway. All right, let's do this last MC, and then we'll jump into Google Meet. We're going to save long run to long run tomorrow. I'm not going to rush things here. There's no reason to rush things. We are beyond way ahead of schedule, so we're doing good. But let's take a second here. All right, get your answers in the chat. Take your time on it, though. And don't all copy off the first person like yesterday. I have a mole, and I Jupiter messaged him to answer first. Thank you, my brain is fried. Yeah, me too, me too. Me too. I need to make a macro test after this. They're taking their Unit 2 test right now. Mr. Moore's got work to do while you guys are doing that problem set. Let's see. Take your time on this one. This one's hard. Oh no, Snapchats. You guys are all saying C? You guys are right. Very good, right? So the graph is showing price is here, and at where MR equals MC, it is definitely higher than average total cost, which is right? So price is greater than average total cost because we're going to produce where MR equals MC. That's assumed. Economic profits are not zero. Economic profits would be positive, right? Because this would be our profit here. Marginal cost equals average total cost. No, it does not, right? Here's our marginal cost, right? At this quantity, our marginal cost would be equal to P1, and it's greater than average total cost, so it can't be 3. And then 4, new firms are likely to enter the market in the long run. Yeah, right, because they're making profit, right? So that will signal more firms to enter. So the answer is C. These are always hard, though, when they do it like this, right? But, all right, people. Good job. All right, so I'll meet you guys in Google Meet. We'll do a problem set. It's kind of an easier problem set, I think. And then yeah, I'm gonna find a way to get you guys a graphing tomorrow. Okay. All right. So I'll see you guys in Google Meet.